Hey crafters, welcome to a cozy thrift flip and fix project. In today's video, we will be tackling a couple of garments that I have thrifted for fall, but they need a little bit of DIY love to change them into something that works just right for me. You guys know fall is a great time of year to gather a little seasonal inspiration, maybe do a little mini closet refresh. But hey, doing it in a budget-friendly way, like thrift shopping, is great, especially these days, right? And of course, doing a little crafting therapy, always good too during stressful times. So this is a great project to do right now. Let me show you the garments that I found. I'll show you what's wrong with them, my issues with these pieces, and then I'll show you how I plan to fix them and then what they look like at the end. See if you get inspired to maybe do a little bit of thrift fixing or maybe even some closet shopping and closet fixing this time of year to get yourself ready for fall. Let's roll up our crafty sleeves, grab ourselves a warm, spicy beverage, maybe even light a comfy, cozy candle, and let's dive in. Well, talk about some fall vibes. I thrifted these really cute boho dresses a while ago, actually. They're both from the brand Knox Rose, and they're both kind of like rayon material, very breezy. I love the colors. This is kind of the color I want to wear like all fall, kind of like rusty jewel tones. So I love them. However, they both could use a little bit of work. We'll take a look up close, but our first dress here on the left actually has a slit that kind of opens up in the front, and the slit is a little too high for me. So I need to sew that closed, maybe reinforce it a little bit so I don't accidentally rip it open, and just make that more of a midi dress instead of a midi dress with a giant slit. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I love these cute elastic cuffs on our burnt orange dress. However, they're kind of tight if I roll up my sleeves. And I'm just really active, really impatient with sleeves. If something's too tight or uncomfortable, it just bugs me so much. So I think what we got to do is maybe trim those sleeves a little bit and fix that elastic situation. Let's look at it up close. Okay, let's look at those sleeves. Got a really narrow elastic stitched in there, almost like serged in there. I had thought maybe I could try unpicking all that stitching and then take out the elastic and add new elastic, but I think that would take a million years, and I think this fabric would fray a lot as I was doing that, so I'd probably need to trim the sleeves anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is cut off that existing hem, roll a new hem, a little tube going all the way around, add some new really thin elastic, and just make the sleeve a little shorter. Honestly, if the sleeves are more of a 3/4 length on me, I am okay with that. So I think that's my solution with this guy. So coming over here to this dress, it's super cute. It's got this button placket, got a little elastic at the waist, a little tie, and then actually these buttons keep on going. The fabric covered buttons are super cute. But then they stop and we have this slit in front, which it's not terrible. But I'm accident prone and I want to avoid wardrobe malfunctions whenever possible. So I got to stitch this down a little bit. You can tell I tried it on and put a little safety pin in place to where I want to finish stitching that. So I think what I'll do is stitch it closed and then maybe put some like twill tape or something behind the slit to try to reinforce it a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, we got a plan. We know what we need to do. So let's get sewing and get these dresses ready for fall. Well, now it's time to work on that elastic on the other dress. Of course, I trimmed off the existing elastic and ironed that crinkly fabric as flat as I could before rolling that hem under and ironing it. And then, of course, we can roll that hem up again to make a tube for our elastic. Once that's sewn up, I needed to show you that yes, I did indeed remember to leave a gap in the stitching. I'm going to need that gap for when I insert my elastic. I'm just using the safety pin trick, pinning the pin to the elastic and using that to push the elastic through the tube of fabric so we can get those sleeves fixed. Of course, I did try the dress on once I had the elastic in, and I played around with how much elastic I wanted to be in that sleeve. Once I get it to be the length that I like, I actually took it out so that I could measure another one against that one, then reinserted it, sewed the ends closed, and then whoop, that can hide there in our cuff. Of course, wanted to sew the gap closed, and once that's done, our sleeves are, hooray, fixed, and our dress should be much more comfortable to wear now. And with that, you guys, we now have a wearable dress. Hooray! I know this fix and the fix for our other dress were not very complicated, but I will say the dresses have been sitting in my mending pile for an embarrassingly long period of time, just waiting for those fixes to happen. And now that they fit just the way I like, I really can't wait to wear them, and I have been wearing them. So I'm going to consider that a win for this thrift fix project. Of course, if you guys get behind changing up those garments that don't quite work for you, maybe they're from the thrift store or from your closet, give this video a big thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more fun stuff from Partners in Craft. Thank you as always to our subscribers for all the watches and likes and comments and shares. Really appreciate you guys. It is a beautiful day outside, and I think I'm going to take this fall dress out for a little fall expedition, and I'll show you what she looks like when I'm there.